This is Lord Thaddeus Cray. What I'm going to tell you is not simply some story. It is a very real event of what happened to me when I was roughly 16 to 17 years old. I will not be naming names, for obvious reasons, but I will tell you of the events in which happened. This is one of the few times that the Holy Spirit has truly ever spoken to me. What happened at the time was my stepmother and my father. It was my time to stay with them for the weekend. They were both looking for a new church to go to. And I can actually understand why. The one that they were going to was not exactly the best. At least not at the time. Naturally, I was invited to come along. The church itself was very small. It didn't look too threatening when we went inside. We actually sat down and made ourselves as comfortable as we could. The choir began to sing. They were all women, dressed in what I call a bohemian-type fashion. Now, I wasn't too concerned about that. Of course, I'd run across many different individuals of different versions of the faith throughout my life. So that was kind of a neither here nor there moment. However, it was the vibe I got. I didn't really understand, but something was off. It wasn't the women singers, other than the fact the way they were dressed. To be honest, they were acting a little odd. They were literally dancing all over. And again, I've seen different types of different individuals who were part of the faith, and I've seen some crazy stuff, so that didn't really bother me. It was more the spiritual vibration I got from them, is the best way I could describe it. It was something odd. The songs, as one would go, were not abnormal. They were typical songs for a church. It was not until I saw the pastor, if you could call her that, come out. She was dressed very severely, and what I mean by that is she was dressed in business attire. Her hair was very cut short, almost like a fellow would be. And that right there struck me as strange, but at the same time, I pushed that to the back of my mind. That's trivial stuff. It was what I was picking up from her that was wrong. Very, very wrong. I remember the woman, of course, going into her spiel. It was odd. I can't remember all the details because it was so long ago. But I remember her pointing at my father. And she told him his time was short. Now, my father, being the very defiant individual that he is, told her point blank she was full of it. It was then that things got very creepy. And I mean worse than it already had been. I felt that still small voice telling me, prepare. I was wondering, what do I need to prepare for? This made no sense. I knew that this place was off, but I wasn't quite sure what else was going to happen. Previously, another member of the congregation had walked forth, and the woman had tapped him on the forehead, and this individual had passed out, literally on the floor. I cannot remember if they were male or female. I remember that they were dressed very dirty. It was not a good scene, to say the least. This individual was just laying there, obviously unconscious. So you pretty much had this strange scene, literally women that had been dancing, and then this preacher preaching weird things, telling my father his time was short. And just before then, this individual now was laying on the ground. And of course, I'm no stranger to the term of, struck in the spirit. But whatever spirit this individual was struck with, I wanted no part of. It was then that the Holy Spirit told me, Wes, get ready. And then the pastor spoke once more. And she said, close the doors. No one is in or out of this church. It was then that I got up and I got the hell out of there. My father and my stepmother followed suit pretty quickly afterwards. As a matter of fact, because none of us were too willing to conform to their desires, my father and stepmother were given the boot. Thank God for small favors, none of us were harmed. However, I would find out later that the individuals who were in that church actually lived on the property. We had narrowly escaped, my friends, a cult. That is the best thing I can tell you. So be aware, many of these types of organizations hide within plain sight, and you won't know until it's too late. Because honestly, had it not been for the warning in which I got, who knows what kind of trouble that we all could have been in at that moment in time. I'm just going to leave it at that. Always be aware of your surroundings, and always pay attention to the message that is being spoken to you. If it rings wrong within your heart and your soul, you get the hell out of there. I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys be blessed and you be safe.